Hello, I'm John Zelenski, and I'm joining you from Ottawa, Canada. Today, I want to talk about nature connections. And of course, we are all very connected with nature. It's just a physical reality. But when it comes to our subjective sense of connection with nature, it's clear that there are also some big individual differences where some people feel quite connected and others not so much. I think of this, or I've called this nature relatedness, and have developed a measure to try to assess it. There are other similar ones out there. And the idea of our subjective sense of connection with nature has these different facets to it. So it certainly includes how we think about nature. So that is understanding human beings as part of a larger ecosystem, but it's also quite personal, where your self-concept is tightly tied to nature. It's also emotional, how we feel about nature. We might love nature, but some of these emotional connections can be unpleasant too, where we worry about nature or the suffering of animals, the state of the ecosystem. And then finally, it's also about our experiences in nature. So that can be physically being in nature, but also, do we notice nature? Are you the kind of person that sees a bird even in the middle of the city and understands that is nature? Another way to get at our sense of connection with nature adapts this measure from relationship research, asks people to indicate how much their self overlaps with nature with this visual representation. And we found this very useful for getting at how people feel in the moment. Our sense of connectedness with nature can go up and down over time, depending on our circumstances. Nature relatedness is associated with, I think, a lot of good things. Again, people spend more time outdoors in nature. People who score high are more likely to participate in environmental organizations, to do sustainable behaviors. It's highly correlated with other pro-environmental attitudes, but that sense of connection seems to add something. It makes a better prediction of sustainable behaviors. By way of where nature relatedness might come from, we also find that people who grow up in a rural area or who report a lot of positive early experiences in nature tend to score higher too. Perhaps a little bit less obviously, people who are strong in nature relatedness also tend to be happier. And this extends across a broad range of positive indicators. So emotions and pretty much all sorts: high energy, low energy, curiosity, awe, also a cognitive sense, judgment that life is going well, life satisfaction, and some of these broader hallmarks of positive psychological health, such as a sense of purpose, personal growth, authenticity, positive and pro-social relationships with other people. And so nature relatedness seems to be this nexus of both sustainable behaviors and well-being. It suggests that there may be this happy path to sustainability that goes through our nature connections. If this is correct, it'd be nice if we could increase it. And there have been some interventions, some nudges, some ways to try to boost it. With that said, we should be humble here in that it's hard to change somebody's self-concept or a personality variable like this. There may also be some value in trying to understand those particular moments that increase nature connection, so we can try to increase those and hope they aggregate over time into something bigger. How does this happen? Well, indications are that just physically being present in nature is a good start. So you can take people on a short walk in nature, you can have them spend the day in nature. They feel more connected in those moments. A little bit over the longer term, asking people to spend 30 minutes a day over the course of a month in nature, these people reported higher nature relatedness at the end too. So physical contact, but also how we think about it or how we approach nature. So we found that when you give people a short mindfulness instruction, that seems to boost their nature connection more, even on a short walk. Other studies have found that getting people to savor, to think about, to write about elements of nature that strike them seems to boost that sense of connection as well. So to sum up, I've suggested to you that our subjective connection with nature is associated with both sustainability and well-being. And if we foster these moments, we might end up with this happy path to sustainability. Thank you. I look forward to the rest of the talks and our discussion.